Can you control time? It's a question I often ask. The reality is, none of us can control time. I cannot put my finger in that clock and make the time truly stand still. I can, however, manage myself. Self-management is one of the critical aspects of time management. And it's really taking, as we learn to manage ourselves better, we learn to take the chaos in our lives that we've created and turn it into control. Control over our time, control over ourselves. Because time is truly life's greatest asset. So I have a question for you. Would you rather lose money or time? Most people say they'd rather lose time than money. But the reality is we can always get money back. I don't care how much it is. People have lost fortunes and made them back again. But in the real reality of it, once you have spent a minute, an hour, a day, you can never get that time back. It is spent, never to be recovered. And we don't look at that a lot of times as we look at how we manage our time. Stephen Covey is well known for creating this target that we're going to be talking about. And he's done studies on the typical time that we have spent in certain areas. Now, we all have this first level. And it is really that level of distraction. It's the things we do. And we're buzzing around and we get distracted. We're a little bit like a rabbit chasing things. And that's normal. But it's the amount of distraction that we're going to have in getting our jobs done. Now, the next one is really that delusion, where we think we've got so many things to do, we've got this long list, and we're working through it, we get that stuff done. But the reality is, sometimes it may need to be done, but does it need to be done right now? And that's the urgent, but maybe not important at this point. Now we have the next favorite part of it, and that's the demand. That's when your customers, clients, employees are coming after you and they want answers, and they want answers now. And a lot of time is spent in this demand area. But the reality is, if we could spend more time planning, because most people spend so little time planning that they don't have the structure laid out so when the demand comes that they eliminate it. I worked for a software company for a number of years, and we always managed to be able to fix the problems when they came up, but we never managed at times to be able to fix them to start off with. The reality is it took 5 times longer to fix them after we delivered the software than if we'd done it to start off with, and that required planning. So let's go look at the time target that we would have for an ideal amount. And this is according to Stephen Covey, but part of this is just understanding where we need to be spending the time. So we were at a 2 to 3% of distraction. This is saying less than 1%. Now, we're not talking necessarily about our personal lives, but you can take a lot of this and apply it to the personal lives we have as well. And then you've got the urgent and important, and that delusion. It was much higher last time, wasn't it? This is putting delusion at about 15%. Now, what I work with people on is understanding what's activity versus productivity. Because again, we're those busy little bees trying to get things done, getting all this activity done, but we're not necessarily being productive with what we're doing. And that's the aspect of delusion that we need to change. Now, as we go to the urgent and important, that demand aspect, that goes down because what we've done is spent far more time in the zone of planning. Now, this can be different for employees as it is for business owners, as it is for executives, but the principle still remains critical. The more time you spend planning, the better the results you're going to get. And how many of us have understood that the problem that we're having to fix at this point is a result of us not stepping back, being objective, and doing the planning that's required to move ourselves forward?